In the Automate section, you will find the structure builder, both for search and shopping campaigns. If you want to create a search configuration, you will need to upload a data feed first. Here we explain how to make a search configuration. You need to create a new configuration based on the information in your data feed. You do this by clicking the plus button. Choose between the unique and multiple functions depending on whether you want to create a single configuration or several at the same time. Then choose the account in which you want to create the config and pick the feed you want to use. Now we need to configure the structure. First, products. You can decide whether to choose all the items in the feed or just those that comply with certain conditions. For example, stock availability is very useful for e-commerce, which has stock rotation, to be sure you never advertise something you don't have. Next, campaign configuration. Here you need to set all the parameters which will make up your new campaigns. Set a name. You'll see different tags. These are the headers we have taken from your feed. You can either create a single campaign with a single name in text format, or you can create a name using different labels which will create a campaign for every one of the items designated by the labels you select. Now we will have to configure the campaign as you would do in your different channels, like AdWords. Select a language, locations, objectives, and ad extensions. Now you have to do the same process, but for ad groups. Choose the ad group name in the same way as for campaigns. The ad group name has to be different for each product in that campaign. So you need to choose a label which will distinguish between the products. Then choose the starting CPC for all the ad groups. Add the extensions using the labels you want to include. And, if you want, set a dynamic target CPA for each product in the feed, choosing the label of the feed that will have this information. This allows you to be more specific in the optimization. Now, keywords. Here we will decide all the keywords for the ad groups. We can choose the match type you want to create. We don't recommend using broad match type to avoid low quality traffic. Compose the keyword using a combination of text and labels from your feed. Beneath your labels, you will see a preview of the new keyword. Once you've clicked Add, the keyword will be created. If you check the Add Activated box, it will be active straight away. If not, it will be created but paused. In the list below, there is a preview of all the keywords that you have created. Now you need to create some ads. Here there is a list of all the ad templates you can create. On the left is all the information you need to create your ads. First, you need to identify your ads by name. Then select static or dynamic type for your ad. It is important to create at least one static ad to ensure that an ad will always be able to display if there is a problem with your dynamic feed. To create ads, fill out all the fields using a combination of text and labels. In Title 1 and 2, you can select tags in order to create the ads automatically, but you must also create an alternative version with no tags in order to ensure that at least one ad will always be able to display in case the total characters of your ad don't comply with Google or Bing's length requirements. The same is true of the description field. After making a main description, you have to make a label-free alternative too. In the URL field, make sure the label you choose is in URL format, or your ad will not work. Ensure that in paths, the length of the label doesn't exceed the maximum length, that there are no accents or special characters that will lead to the ad being rejected by Google or Bing. And again, create an alternative. Once you are done, on the right you can see a preview of the ad template you have created. Just like Google, we always recommend to create 3 or 4 template ads. Go to the next step and you can see the overview page where you can review all the steps you have taken and the ads and keywords that you have created. You can check in to edit at any stage of the process. Here you can save as a draft or launch the new structure configuration. Here there is a list of all the configurations we have created, with some information about each one, and a drop-down list of actions you can do to a configuration.